Today is a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or just think it would be dope to have your own talk show, podcasting is an easy, inexpensive, and fun way to expand your reach online. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your recording. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and the team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Following the link in the show notes lets Buzzsprout know we sent you, gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and helps support our show.
Go Squadron!
All in a day's work for the Squadron Supreme, Earth's mightiest heroes.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Listen, share, rate, and subscribe to Hip Hop Marvels podcast, available on all podcast platforms and apps and streaming services. Available on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Google Play, and more.
Yo, this your boy Frank Nitt. And there's rules if you want to get in this Marvel Studios. Don't nobody get in this motherfucker. So rule number 1, don't pop your ass up. Don't bring no extra niggas. And you better be ready to write, direct, produce some hot shit, or you will not get in. Marvel Studios, nigga, you know what it is. Frank Nitt, let's go.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
That is probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people, you can call me your majesty. Keep your battery charged. He know it won't stick, yo. And it's not his fault you kick slow. Shoulda let your chick hold your sick glow. Plus nobody couldn't do nothing once he let the brick go. And you know I know that's a bunch of snow. The beat is so butter. Peep the slow cutter as he utter the calm flow. Don't talk about my mom, yo. Sometimes he rhyme quick, sometimes he rhyme slow, or vice versa. Whip up a slice of nice verse pie, hit it on the first try, villain. The worst guy, spot hot tracks like spot a pair of fat asses. Shots of the scotch from out the square shot glasses. And he won't stop till he got the masses. And show them what they know now through flows of hot molasses. Do it like the robot to headspin to boogaloo. Took a few minutes to convince the average boogaboo. It's ugly, like look at you, it's a damn shame. Just remember all caps when you spell the man name. Like a poet, like baby doll. I bet she tried to say she gave me her all. She played ball. All bets off. The villain got the dice rigged. And they say he accosted the man with the sliced wig. Allegedly, the investigation is still ongoing. In this pesky nation, he got the best con flowing. The pot doubles. Now they really got troubles. Madman never go like snot bubbles.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Dig it and dig it deep.
You now on that wavelength, time to sign in. Dub Floyd and hip-hop marvels will chime in on topics of comics, brought to expand the hip-hop connect with the gauntlet in hand. They got it locked in, they floss in the brand. The block to the comic shop, they cross and examine. Representation's spamming and moved on the shelf, and the system is happy with the movement it's dealt. We don't wait for the sick to improve on the health, so we pull a Thanos, fine, I'll do it myself. And it'll come out extra clean, fresh for the fans like an extended scene. The hip-hop and comic dimension, they activate you with gems they presentin'. Hand in the gauntlet, yes, we gon' flaunt it. Hip-hop marvels will bring you the rawness.
It's your boy DJ Dub Floyd in the place to be, and in the place to be is DJ Dub Floyd. This is the Hip Hop Marvels podcast, episode 20, first episode of 2021, and I'm here with the Squadron Supreme,
Volume 3.
Amen. Rick 0378. I got
AKA
Miss Cash Collective,
AKA I'm Rick Grimes, bitch.
We have Miss Cash Collective, aka Monica Rambeau. We have a special guest host with us from the Villains and Vinyls podcast. We did the 2019 hip hop recap. You may know him from there. I forgot what episode that was, but that was like, I think that was one of the first volumes we did. Like, yeah, I got my homeboy Terrence MFT today in honor of MF Doom.
That's right.
Here with us on the Hip Hop Marvels podcast. Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure.
What's going on? What's been good?
Gotta have fun in 2020 fun.
Hey, that's what I'm thinking, man. Because last year has been crazy. I want to get inside you guys' head on as far as what you guys thought about 2020. Because I know towards the end, personally, I had a lot of things planned for Hip Hop Marvels. I had to push those to the side because, I had some family issues. A lot of people had, issues in families, family members passing on, deaths. I mean, we're still in the midst of a pandemic. So, like, what was on your mind towards the end? I say around November-ish, you know what I'm saying? October, November-ish on out.
I'll be honest, I felt tense going into the new year, to be honest with you. From November on, from Thanksgiving on, I felt tense the whole time. Because with the year closing out and, with everything, which recently didn't happen till after the new year, with everything that happened at the Capitol. But, I could see something honestly progressing towards that with how people were feeling and acting and things like that. So it was kind of like a precursor, so to speak, of the situation. But I was tense, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a little tense now with everything, going on, even though it's so far away from us here in North Carolina. I really think there's going to be one more stunt before the 20th, when the change of the transition of power is supposed to be. I think, after we saw what they did at the Capitol, I have no doubt that somebody can pull something like that again.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to get into that because, and I definitely understand your sentiment. I talked about all of us having personal issues going on. Then you had the political outside, social issues that were going on at the same time. It's like getting it from both sides, the negativity and, the different problems from both sides. Weighed in on a lot of people. So that's why I asked you guys, what was on you guys' mind, because depression is, to me right now, at an all-time high. People are damn depressed because of everything going on. So yeah, no, I definitely get what you're saying. And like I said, we're going to dive into that. The year started out with the Georgia election, the Senate race. And then it, this past week, it kind of went crazy with all the folks up in DC at the Capitol. Cash, I mean, what are your thoughts on towards the end of the year, the end of 2020?
For me, 2020, I'm an optimist, so I definitely try to look at things, from the bright side. The overall year, it was cool. It was, of course, different, obviously, but I just thank God that I didn't go through too many struggles. I got a new career. Didn't go hungry. Didn't go too broke. None things like that. But the end of the year, it was definitely interesting because, like you said, we're pushing towards the new year, and it's like, yes, we almost made it. We almost made it. Then my family got hit with tragedy. So it's just like dang, like we were that close. I just thank God that we're still here, and just take things day by day. Honestly, I don't do too much. Like Rick says, it is a little tension in the air, but for me, I don't do too much. I go to work, I go home, and that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's the
mean,
new
and then
normal.
as a photographer, it's like I really miss the live show. But when we get back to that, it's like, do I even want to do that anymore? I don't know if I want to. So at this point, so
That's crazy you said that, Cash, because like I'm in the same boat because like I guess when you do something for so long, like you just get used to it. Like I'm accustomed to shit now, like that. You know what I mean? When the pandemic first started, we had to get used to moving around and certain everyday things that you would normally do. You can't, do anymore. So you had to get used to them. And now I've been doing them for so long. It's just like you said, it's like, yeah, go to work, come home. Like people say, yeah, I'm throwing an event or I'm doing this or that. And I'm like, okay, like, do you like, I don't want to be in a crowded place. Like I said on our first quarantine episode, like this is nothing new to me. Like it's what I do anyway.
Like you said, I agree with everybody. It's been tense, still tense at times, but I look at it like it was very eye-opening. It was more so already you can get your stuff together, kick, but now when you sit down, when you're forced to sit down and look at everything, you just start I don't know, you can't get complacent. You can't. I just watched everything, like even with all the politics, everything. It was enough time for me to sit down and just take it. Where normally I'm moving. Now that you stop, I think that's one reason why we have more depression. People have time to stop, to think about things. A lot of people are not putting their time into other hobbies or side hustles and jobs. So, like I said, for 2020, it was just more of a slowdown period in every aspect of my life.
Right. Yeah. No. 100% right. Just when we were getting out of the year, another tragedy struck, which we're paying homage in this episode. All caps is greater than all cap. We learned that MF Doom passed away on December 31st. Like we were right. We didn't even say Happy New Year yet. We learned of this, but surprisingly, in villain fashion, we find out that he's already been dead for like two months already. He passed away October 31st, and that's crazy in itself too. The only holiday where you wear like masks, aside from Comic-Con and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just like his whole, like, if you paint his whole life out, to how he got started, to how he died, and even after death, like how he fooled us, and we'll get into that later with his birthday. Like, he was a Marvel villain in hip hop form for real. So yeah, MF Doom, one of my favorite MCs. From the very beginning, I wasn't a heavy Doom fan. I think I became a Doom fan right after, I want to say right after Mad Villainy. And then I went back and did my, my research. And now, don't get me wrong, I heard his earlier stuff. It wasn't until Mad Villainy, him and Madlib. A lot of people love that album, and they rate it as classic. Actually, a lot of people rate a lot of his projects as classics. Some are better than others. There's like one that I think people really didn't fuck with like that, and that's what was it, Venomous Villain? It wasn't really out there. It was like rare. That album that he put out, it wasn't like readily available, if that makes any sense. It was it was kind of rare, but it's like the least listened to amongst his fans or amongst fans. His style, his cadence, the mysteriousness about him. It's crazy because I don't rap, but I try to pattern myself after that. Like I tend to, and people often tell me that like I'm a very mysterious guy. Like we don't know much about you. Good. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad. Because that's the only thing I feel I have power over. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, right. So I get that. I get why Doom went that route, because it's like the industry shitted on him in the beginning, and he took that time to fall back, recollect on things, strategize, and come back in a different way to where nobody was fucking with him. And like, he became like a staple in underground hip hop, and he fathered a lot of damn children in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? They didn't call this dude your favorite rapper for nothing. You ask a lot of your favorite rappers who their favorite rapper is, they'll say he's in their like top 10 or 5 or whatever. They'll name him along the line somewhere. T, you said when I hollered at you, what was it, yesterday or the day before? You was like, man, I'm going his discography. So what you think? Because I said you got the dopest job right now, because I wish I was fresh ears listening to Doom.
I was like you, I knew of Doom, I knew the respect of him, and I heard tracks that just randomly came on. I'm like, oh shoot, I need to go check them out. And a lot of times I'm already listening to other stuff, so I never go check them out. Then half the time I would hear a lot of this stuff on Adult Swim late night. So going through a discography last 3 days, rapping ass dude. That dude had bars. Kind of his earlier stuff definitely reminded me of had of the older Wu-Tang vibe, 36 Chambers, a few of the tracks. Just that boom bap hard. But I see why, like you said, favorite rapper. I always like lyricists anyway, so definitely.
Yes,
dope.
definitely.
I see why that Mad Villain was definitely playing too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like him and Madlib was the ultimate preparing. It's crazy because a lot of his collaborative efforts, it's like you team him up with people, and everybody was waiting on that Ghost Doom album that was supposed to come out. Me being one of them, because I love these two Marvel heroes right here. Well, Marvel characters. You got the villain. You know what I'm saying? You got Iron Man. You got Doom. Like, come on, man.
Doom.
I said they're working in the comics now on that King of
what was that?
That King of Black storyline.
Please tell, because I've been hearing about that. So please, explain a little bit about that.
I don't know everything.
So you talking about with Iron Man and Doom?
Yeah, there was some dude that on the No King of Black storyline, the Venom big crossover. And there's some story where they're basically saving Christmas, but it's Iron Man and Doom together. And then like the last few years, like you even had it the last few years, when the Iron Man disappeared, Doom actually took up Iron Man's mantle for a little bit.
What?
Yeah, it was
yeah. This is a recent story. This is a recent one.
This was like a few years ago. This was right after Riri, when Riri was popping off. There was two Iron Mans. It was Ironheart and Doom. Dr. Doom was trying to come off as trying to do the hero thing a little bit, but he was the was it the superior? No, not superior Iron Man. Either way, Doom was Iron Man for a little bit.
You know what? I do remember that. I hadn't read that story, but I remember I wanted to. But I remember them advertising that. I do remember that. Yeah, it was right after Marvel introduced Riri Williams. Ironheart.
I totally missed that.
Right,
I never heard that at all. As far as my experience with Doom, I was always into Doom. I just randomly saw the CD one day at Paradise Records and Tapes, and I thought it was dope with the cover, with the Dr. Doom cover with the microphone. And I looked in the back and I saw Curious George and MF Grimm, and I definitely knew I knew who MF Grimm was before I knew who MF Doom was. So I thought they had a crew or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was always into Doom, but I didn't really know how far his catalog expanded. Like T said, him doing the stuff on Adult Swim. At first, I didn't know that was him. I said, damn, it's a dope ass beat. And then I found out, I was like, MF Doom did that? And then came the collaborations like Monster Island Czar, where he's King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah,
yeah. Victor Vaughn.
Take Me to Your Leader joint.
Yeah, the collaboration parts are what got me, not necessarily who he was. I knew who he was from the jump, and the story, and his story. But when it came to to how expansive his catalog was, that was something that shocked me, that he had so much output.
Right, and I like the fact that he didn't take a traditional approach to certain shit. Like a lot of his albums didn't have any hooks at all, nigga. Like no hooks to the songs, just straight titles really. And just spitting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then on some of his albums, he don't even rap. He'll just it'll be the interlude and his instrumental, which we'll get into that too, because he's a hell of a.
Yeah, they caught me off guard on a couple of CDs.
What do you mean as far as beat?
No, it caught me off guard. I was sitting here waiting for the track to start. I'm like, hold up, this is an instrumental CD? And then all of a sudden, 3 tracks in, he start rapping again. I'm like, okay.
So I'm definitely gonna be like a new ear to Doom because unfortunately I'm not into too much old school hip hop as like my friend Rick here. But people like Black Thought is my number one like artist. Black Thought is the reason that I love hip hop today. And I know Black Thought loves MF Doom. So I'm like, let me go ahead and check him out. So,
but yeah, I like the fact that he took an unorthodox, a totally left approach to like just songs. He had, I think it was what was the Food, that album? He had like 4 interludes in a row. Like before his next song. Who does that? Who put 4 straight interludes in a row on an album? You know what I'm saying? And then on, not to mention, on that same album on Food, which that was genius in itself. That was a play on his name. Like his name is scrambled up in there. You got Food, and if you unscramble it, it's MF Doom. That same album, he introduced us to Star and 4 Eyes. You know what I'm saying? And they were on a track just by themselves on his album. His approach is mad different, like mad different. He loves trickery, just like Dr. Doom. Like he loves tricking people. And, how he was sending imposters and shit on stage. This dude was sending white guys with his mask on and shit. Like
where they could clearly see that this was not Doom. Not, I mean, some were fooled obviously, but there was like plenty that weren't fooled at all. Like, yo, what is? You know what I'm saying? What is this? And fans were never really too mad at it.
Like,
I mean, they took it in stride as far as being a fan of Doom. I don't never remember really hearing about no ruckus out there when Doom didn't show up. They just took it in stride, like, yo, this is what Doom does. Ha ha ha. I had an MF Doom experience.
Right. Once you get to know him as the artist that he is, and I say artist with all respect because that's exactly what he is. Like the way he crafted his whole story and the way he crafts his rhyme schemes and his bars are like none other. Like it's crazy because you have other MCs scratching their head. Like Mos Def is a big fan of his. Mos Def can spit, but even he's like scratching his head. Like how did he? What is he smoking? Like what is he doing to come up with these lyrics, these lines and bars? You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite MF Doom songs is Beef Rap off of Food. Yeah. And like the first line, this dude said beef rap could lead to getting T-cap or even a reef for my dukes on some grief crap. Like just some shit like that. Like and he's telling you about beef. But the fact that all the joints on that album are like based off of food, and he called the album Food. He talking about beef in the literal sense and beef in the hip hop sense, like hip hop beef and beef. Like this is crazy the way he intertwined it, and that takes a level of genius that's otherworldly and shit. You know what I'm saying? And
one thing I think T and Dub, I think you might know too. Beef Rap sampled Friday Man and His Amazing Friend.
Exactly, and that's why I love him too. Like he is a hip hop marvel. Like he definitely, like everything we talk about on this podcast is a direct reflection of this nigga here. Like straight up.
Doom is the kind of artist where he was able to reinvent himself, kind of like how Master Ace has done, what Sean P did, rest in peace. There's been a few rappers that have
2 Chainz.
2 Chainz that have been able to reinvent themselves and stay current and still stay dope with the young people.
Yeah, because I mean we didn't even go in on start in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Being close to Third Base, MC Search, Pete Nice, and starting KMD with his brother
Bobbito and Stretch.
Bobbito and Stretch, him being on the Gas Face. And them putting out their first album and it being a slight success to them, working on their second one. And I don't think were they finished. Rick, I'm asking you this because you're the hip hop historian on the podcast. Did they finish their second album, KMD? Did they finish their second album before his brother was killed, or was it after? heard something about him playing the album at his brother's funeral.
The album Black Bastards was done. It's just that Elektra rejected the album. But before they rejected the album, Sub Rock had passed away. And then he's going in there to talk promotion and marketing for the album. And the president of Elektra came down and told them that they weren't going to promote the album and they were going to drop the group from the label. They weren't happy with the Sambo or the
artwork. Yeah, the artwork.
The Pickaninny character being on a game of Hangman.
Being hung.
But
yeah.
Doom was dropped from the label, but he was given his masters, which also included the master for Mr. Hood. And a $25,000 check, and there's not that many people that can do that. And it was just, it was a collection of losing his brother and then losing his deal. And I was reading where Doom was basically, just when he was going through, I guess, that mental situation with losing his brother, losing his deal, like he was sleeping in the park, basically living homeless, and didn't have to.
Right, that's what I heard too. Yeah, he was living on the street, didn't really have to. I think he was living with his girl at the time, because I think that's around the time he had moved to Atlanta, and that's where I think he developed that relationship with Star and Four Eyes, because Star, shout out to Four Eyes. But yeah, that whole time I guess is when he was working out, honing his craft, and how he was going to return back to the game. And it wasn't until '99. When what was it, Operation Doomsday?
Yep.
Dropped. Well, I think he had a single before that too, though. But
all those singles were on the album, like Dead Bent and Question and Question featuring Curious George. Those joints were out. Bobito and Stretch were playing those on college radio, already, and plus he had made the album and put it out on Bondulum, which was Bobito's label.
Right. And with that album, I love how he used pure hip hop on there, because he took things and just recycled them. Like on Dead Bent, like we know what beats he used on that, like you know what I'm saying, with samples and with you know what I mean. Which I had a dope respect for that track. Because I told you, the hip hop group that brought me to hip hop was BDP.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it had that Super Ho sample. So
right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And the video Cash. If you haven't seen Dead Bent, you should check that out. It's a very well directed video. I think Doom did it himself. So when you get a chance, check out the video for Dead Bent.
I will, definitely will.
Dead Bent. Yeah, we look, Rick. We should give her a definitive list of joints to check out, like from Doom.
Oh yeah. Oh,
in the moment, I just downloaded that. Food. I'm gonna check that out for real.
Yeah.
And MF Doom and Ghostface. I know you got to check the him and Ghost. Ghost Doom.
Of course. Anything with Ghostface.
Yeah, the one joint they got, the Angels joint. Oh my goodness. He said it sounded like an episode of Heart to Heart.
and that was a sample. I don't understand why Doom ain't never been beat over the head with sample clearance and stuff like that. He must really dig for some obscure stuff, or they really just like his music and give him permission to do it.
I don't know, because he samples anything. So like he'll sample whatever. Like it doesn't matter. He sampled Sade.
And that's what I'm saying. And Sade,
he done sampled Midnight Star.
Yeah. And Sade is notorious for not liking her stuff sampled.
Hip Hop Marvels Podcast. You want that? Your friendly neighborhood plug for all things hip hop and Marvel.
All right, so check this out. Imagine all of the free time you could have to watch Avengers Endgame for the umpteenth time by not taking that trip to the grocery store simply because you ran out of chips and dip the night before hosting a new comic book shindig. Well, Instacart to the rescue. Instacart delivers groceries in as fast as 1 hour. They connect you with personal shoppers in your area to shop and deliver groceries from all of your favorite stores. Get access to all of the items you usually buy and even get smart suggestions for new ones. Instacart picks the freshest produce and even keeps your eggs safe too. To get free delivery on your first order over $35, follow the link in the show notes. That lets Instacart know we sent you and help support our show. As Thanos would say,
not going to the grocery store is inevitable.
Off the top of the key for 3 villain. Been on in the game as long as he can really is winning. Turn the corner spinning, bust that ass and get up. Dust off the mask, whoever laughed, give him a head up. He got jumped, it pumped his adrenaline. Said they made him tougher than a bump of raw medicine. To write all night long, the hourglass is still slow. Flow from hellborn to free power like Wilco. And still old bills, paid dues forever. Slave crews when it comes to who's more cleverer. Used to rock a leather goose bee with a fur collar. And charge a fee for loose leaf. Word per dollar, you heard holler. Brother too, we need food. These your teams for sure, these streets shall seem rude. For fam like the partridges, pardon him for the mix-up. Battle for your torrent cartridges or put your kicks up. It's a stick up.
What's up? This your boy Wyclef Jean, aka Spider-Man. Y'all already know I'm a superhero. What makes me a superhero? Come on. Hip Hop Marvels.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Okay, out there in Marvel Land, face front, this is Stan Lee speaking. You've probably never heard this before, so anything is liable to happen.
This your boy Frank Nitt, and I'm telling all y'all to subscribe to the Hip Hop Marvels podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Stitcher, and more. Go get that, y'all.
I know this is off the subject, but did y'all see where Nicki got to pay Tracy Chapman $425K?
yeah, I seen that. I seen. Look, T, he's looking like, what the hell? Yeah, she had a song that she didn't. Well, they reached out to Tracy Chapman's team to get clearance on, and of course Tracy Chapman doesn't. She don't like nobody civil shit. So she did. Of course, it was denied, and so
they did
the song was already recorded. It was already recorded, and it had Nas featured on it. And it got leaked. It got leaked to the internet. And I guess she got wind of that shit and was like, pay up. And so that they settled on that though. They settled on the $400K or whatever.
That's crazy. They settled on $425,000. They settled on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's settled.
Crazy.
Yeah. Which means she could have hit her for more. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but that's they settled on that, and now Nick, she's being sued again, over what song was that? I just read the story, the other day, but it's by a producer. I'm trying to figure out what producer it was.
I remember that. Okay, I read a little bit of that story. I never heard of the dude before, but I know he did the beat.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know you're talking about. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a matter of fact, it wasn't even a producer. It's a rapper, unknown rapper, but she's being sued for over $200 million for her song "Rich Sex," and I guess she went to go. I guess the guy is from he's from New York. She went up there and was in a session with him. He made a song similar to it. She was like, "That song is dope. That would be a hit. Like that has the potential to be a hit or whatever." I guess went back home and redid the damn song or whatever. But that's neither here nor there. They had you have a lot of different artists that come out of the woodwork say, "Oh, I had this song first," and the artist that's on they stole my song. So. I mean, that happens a lot in most cases, but it just seemed like people was trying to sue her ass left and right. That's neither here nor there. But
what do y'all think
as far as Doom, he got a lot of shit.
I was gonna say, what do y'all think about those artists that don't allow for people to sample their music? Like, I mean, I kind of feel like J. Cole, like y'all whack for that, but at the same time, as an artist, like, how would you feel, Dub?
Like, it depends on how much integrity I have for my music, right? So. Like, if let's say I was an artist back in the day, if I'm making songs that are conscious and they teach the youth or like have a positive message and stuff like that, then I would want somebody that caliber. All I'm saying, I would want them to, if they were to sample my shit, I would rather them. You get what I'm saying? So as the artist, I definitely want to dictate where my shit goes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I would be just like no to everybody, but there's some artists that they have that much integrity on their music. They're like, fuck that. I don't want my shit nowhere. But I realized that especially in hip hop, it takes something creative to create something creative. You get what I'm saying? So, that would be my stance on it. I don't necessarily agree with the cats that just shut everybody down, but if they have a particular, way they want their music to be sampled, or who if they want to decide who sampled their music, I don't see nothing wrong with that. What would you do, Rick?
Well, now it's a situation where the artist has, usually the record company are the ones that have the rights to the music anyway. It's rare that the artist is the one that says yay or nay to them being sampled or not. I'm like you, where I wouldn't necessarily, I don't agree with everybody being shut down. If I'm gonna let you sample me, I'm gonna charge you, but I'm not gonna beat you over the head. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, I want 100% of the publishing and I want 10 points on the album. I'm not doing, I'm not doing all that.
Right, it's funny you say that because there are some artists out there that do that. You agree, yeah. T? What would you do in a situation like that, T?
As long as you ask me, I wouldn't personally care because I look at it as you sample my song, so okay, now it's another edition of something I created. A lot of time people are gonna want to hear, oh, this is a sample. Now I go back to hear the original. And if I'm confident enough in my song, I don't know, they're gonna want to hear that anyway. I do get at the same time, if you have your ideals and you don't want certain people to sample your song a certain way, I get it. But at the end of the day, me personally, I would just be like, hey, go ahead. That's still keeping my name out there somehow, even if it's a rendition or interpolation, a sample. It's still some of my creativity still out there, and I like to see how you flip your creativity.
Exactly. Yeah.
It can't be whack.
You gotta realize there's samples out there.
It can't be whack though.
Let's just put that out there. It can't be whack. But that's why I said you should have. You should be able to have control over that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's samples out there. There's songs out there that have samples of samples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's songs. Yeah, they got samples of a sample. So like it's like threefold now. You know what I'm saying? That's like I create the original. Years later, Cash, she recreates my shit. And then Rick's a new artist. He comes along and recreates Cash shit. But that Cash shit still got my shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
but and you know what happens with that? It
keeps it going.
Yeah, it keeps it going. But guess what? That song, you get a piece, Cash get a piece, I got a piece, the label got a piece. That song gets chopped up. That song is chopped up as far as publishing. And since we're talking about publishing and stuff like that, what do you think about all these artists selling their publishing now? Bob Dylan sold his publishing. No ID sold his publishing. The RZA sold like 80% of his publishing. What you think? Lil Wayne.
Sold it to who? Like the label?
Like kind of like how you got like all these greatest hits joint.
Uh-huh.
They sell them to companies like that.
Yeah, I don't know what
like compilation type company.
Yeah, like Rhino and K-Tel. Sometimes they do sell it to the label because the label can put out greatest hits albums too. But a lot of times they even sell them to movie companies now too.
Right. Yeah, right, I have no idea. Right. I don't know what Lil Wayne was thinking. I feel like he was
He's in trouble. He's trying to get money.
And for money or something, but like you're Lil Wayne. Right, like what was the logic behind that? So yeah. No idea. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
you control your music. Because because now whoever owns those masters can, because if somebody wants to put your song in a movie or put your song in a video game, you know what I mean, or
they got to go through them now.
Yeah, they got to go through them now. They get a check.
They would have to go through them now.
You know, and you know we're talking about someone like Bob Dylan. You know, Bob Dylan has a crazy catalog.
Right.
Crazy.
And that's my point. That's my point on his defense, on Bob Dylan's defense. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. He's Bob Dylan, so that's like me creating. Like that's like I'm gonna use me for example. I'm Drake level. You know what I'm saying? Drake level artist. Everything I drop is a smash. Like, you know, it's out of here, right? And I sell all my shit. But I'm Drake level, so I know I could create something new and start fresh and still have control over my shit from that point on. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's the mindset they're going into all of this with. Wayne is just like, all right, that's old. I got a bunch of new shit coming, and I'll have full control over that. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what?
Because half of those,
you know
like,
to that effect about Lil Wayne, and I was thinking about what Caps was saying, like, why would he do that? Y'all know Wayne recently pleaded to those gun charges. That's the Fed. He got to sit for a little bit too, so he's probably trying to get some money in the bank before he go in, because he had to sit for a while.
Yep.
I would.
And why not do it with old ass shit? Why not do it with old? And why not do it with old songs?
If that catalog,
if I get $100 million off an old song,
exactly. If you can get $100 million off that catalog, you know why not? By the time I come out of jail, guess what? Right. By the time I come out of jail, I create a whole new catalog. I hope there's some money left. Yeah. Right. Definitely. But yeah, man, it's crazy as far as going back to Doom. Yeah, he definitely got away with sampling a lot. But yeah, keeping on sampling in his production, he's produced for a lot of folks too. He did two joints off of Ghost. Well, he did 2 joints for Ghostface. Off of the Fish Scale and More Fish album. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 9 Milli Brothers.
That's a little nugget. Yeah, that's a little nugget for Cash. You know, us Ghost. You know what I mean? It's crazy because I was listening to Ninth Spin last night. He was spinning joints from the thousands, and he spent he spun like 4 or 5 Ghostface joints in a row off of Supreme Clientele. It was amazing. I'm like, damn,
I didn't get
he still had bad hits, and he ended it off. He ended off the segment with he ended off that little small portion with Churchill Ghost. So I was like, okay. I instantly thought of Cash when it came on. I was like, this is a CD. Supreme Clientele. But yeah, so look, he got in his head. Like you could say Churchill Ghost and automatically in your brain, yeah, Tommy Mottola. So right.
Yeah. I'm about to play that man right before.
Yeah. So his production, he's done a lot of great production with other artists, worked with a lot of other artists. He's done albums. Now one I didn't particularly get into was the and Rick, I don't know if you have, and I know you probably heard of the album, but it was that the MF Doom and Bishop Nehru or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Bishop.
You know what I'm talking about? I could be slaughtering him.
No, you talking about
Nehru,
Bishop Nehru, and the project was Nehru.
I think it was like Nehruvian something. Nehruvian Doom. Yeah, right. There you go. Nehruvian Doom.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna go back and revisit it when I listened to it the first time, I was like, okay, this is hella different. Like this is okay. So I was like, I'm gonna go back. Cause sometimes it takes that. Sometimes, you know, sometimes joints a joint. You know,
right?
That J Electronica album changed on me.
Yeah, for real. Because I didn't like it at first. I mean, I guess I hyped it up after 10 years. And I was just like, yo, it disappointed me in that sense.
Right.
But as far as
I wasn't feeling that first. Now, yeah.
But as far as Doom, his collaborations, I didn't really get into the Danger Doom, him and Danger Mouse like that.
Now that's one I like that project a lot. I do. That's one they kind of promoted on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big Adult Swim fan. Like I love Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Like that's one of my favorite cartoons ever. I love that cartoon. I love like I'm talking about they old slate. All that new shit they got now, I don't know, but I'm talking about they old shit. Adult Swim old slate, like C Lab 2021 or whatever that shit was, and Harvey Birdman and damn what's his name, Brack and shit. Like I'm talking about those old like Space Ghost Coast to Coast and shit like that. Those shows on Adult Swim, like in between, you'll hear like Dilla, you know, the little the in between sweepers or whatever they have. You'll hear like Dilla beats, or you hear like Mad Lib beats, or you hear Doom spitting. And I just thought that shit was so dope. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, the Danger Doom, that definitely stemmed from that, and that was a dope collaborative effort, because you gotta remember, Danger Mouse, he caught some he caught a wave for a quick minute for a few years after he released that which he got in trouble for, but after he released that Gray album,
the Gray album,
the mashup between the Beatles and Jay-Z's Black album. Yeah, and matter of fact, it was the Beatles' White album.
Yeah,
Jay-Z. Yeah, it was Beatles' White albums, like instrumentals he did over Jay-Z's Black album acapellas. Yeah, and that's why he called it the Gray album, because you make white and black, it makes gray. But it's dope, man. I like it. He caught a little flame of it, right? Yeah. But everybody had the acapellas, the Black album. Everybody was making like mashups with the Black album acapellas. Like that was around that time.
They had
Kev Brown.
They had every color. Ninth Wonder, DJ Green Lantern, DJ No
Green album. You had Kev Brown. He did the Brown album. Like
Brown album.
Like he had so it was a lot. That was during that time. So that was kind of the spark of the wave for Danger Mouse. Then he started working with Gnarls Barkley and shit, with CeeLo. And
then he was out of here.
You know what I mean?
Then he started working out of here.
He said he was out of here. But Danger Doom is a dope project. I like it. I would advise you to go back and just like listen to it and give it a listen, Rick.
I'm going to. I mean, I think I did like the song. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a song with Talib Kweli. I think I liked that a little bit. On there.
Oh, I can't. Oh.
If you like that, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what song you're talking about. I can't think of the name right off top. It was damn. I think I had it. I think I put it on my my Boondocks mixtape. I want to say I did on the very first one at least. I'm not sure, but I know which one you're talking about. But that's a dope project. But yeah, so real quick, like with the exception of Cash, because I know she's just getting into his catalog. Real quick, T, being that you just got into his discography, what joint stood out to you? What's your favorite Doom joint? Like as of right now?
Tracks or album? Cause
not albums, just track.
The earlier track, the joint Pasta.
That you really like.
I like that joint. That's one of the joints that gave me that woo feel. I don't know, just Give me that old school, like I'm ready to go throw in 36 chambers. So I kept listening. So I like Imposters. Of course, I like Endless Villains just because off the name. But then from there, I was like, that's what got me into that Mad Villain album. I was like, yeah, let me keep going in here. So those two off gate jumped off. And then I was just listening as they went. Like Doomsday, of course, was dope. But no, yes, Imposters what got me. I'm like, okay, I like this Wu feel to it, and yeah.
Okay.
That's what's up. I just had a quick thought too. It's crazy how we start the first episode of the year off, right, with a dedication to Doom, who he goes by many names: Ev Love X, MF Doom, Doom, Metal Face, Metal Fingers, King Ghidra, the villain. And then we got another villain on the show in T from Villains in Vinyl. It only goes together. It's dope. You know what I'm saying? I thought of that off the top. But for me, my favorite Doom track would have to be One Beer. That shit, One Beer, that track is hard. That's off Food.
Yeah.
And I like the subject matter he was talking about. Like, you know what I mean? And the beat is just hard. I think that was the one joint that Madlib did off. I think Madlib did that beat off of that album, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So that's my favorite Doom joint. Of course, Accordion. Like that's another Madden joint. Like that shit's hard. I like Dead Bent just because, you know, as soon as start off it's like he is the super. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to think of some other ones, man, off top, man. Oh, of course I like Beef Rap. Oh, like what was it? Snitches? The one about snitches?
Yeah. Snitches, Rap Conditions.
Yes, Snitches, Rap Conditions. Yeah. When he was like, you be in court, you be your own witness.
Oh, you said he's King Ghidra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One of his
one song to do in my playlist, in my music, Next Levels.
Oh. How'd you find that?
Huh?
How'd you find that?
I had a friend that sampled it for one of their mixtapes, and then I dug back to the original, and I was like, it's dope. So that's been on my music for about 6 years now. So yes, I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He's got like seven different identities.
Wow, that's dope.
Like alter ego. Oh, I also forgot Victor Vaughn, which.
Can we shout out his wife for like not releasing it though, like respecting his wishes and like holding it down until December 31st? Because I thought that was really dope of her.
Yes, that was definitely dope because to me, of course that was last wishes, I would believe.
Yeah.
You know, him telling her like, look, just wait till like this is his mind. He's like, I want to shock people. He always want to shock people.
Right.
Like, man, you know, I guess he felt his health was declining or whatever the case may be, because we still don't know what the cause or what, you know. But like I can just imagine those last days, or you know, him and his wife talking. He was like, yeah, just don't, you know, just hold this secret in until December 31st to shock the world. Like, and because when we found out, I thought he died that day. I was like, how this nigga died before before New Year's, nigga? Like, for real?
Yeah.
The last day of 2020, you leave. But then the story came out that he passed away October 31st. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you know, you got days ago people, you know, saying happy birthday and posting up pictures of him. And it comes out that he was born, he's a Cancer, right? Word? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
July 13th, 1971.
Yeah. I don't know if some people are aware of that, but he you know, he also lost his son. I don't know, it was earlier this year or last year. He had lost his son.
It was last year.
It was last year? Yeah.
It was like a few months. It was a few months before he passed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, literally, like it was a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was 14 years old.
Yeah. 14. Yep.
And you know,
that's crazy,
you know,
man.
I never heard what that situation was. You know what I mean? Don't know if it was the Rona or because I heard that's what got Doom was Rona.
I mean, I can imagine. It's been taking a lot of folks out of here, man.
But that's also hard for me to believe because Doom was so reclusive. I mean, probably wherever he was at, probably down there in Atlanta, of all places, he could probably walk around with no mask on and nobody's gonna know who he is, in Atlanta.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, like I said, R.I.P. to Doom. The condolences definitely go out to his family. He was one of the best. I still hope there's like a secret cult of music that he has.
I'm sure of that, bro. He was like the Tupac of underground hip hop. He's got catalogs on catalogs.
It's crazy. I was just reading an article where no, it wasn't even an article. Yeah, it was. It was Lord Jamar had recently said that Doom had reached out to him to get on a track with him and Ghostface. And this was like recently, like before. Yeah, so I'm like, what the hell? So
that's an interesting
that was bugged out. Yes. So I don't know. He could have a whole nother album, in the works. I like many other fans. I do not want a Mad Villainy 2. Just leave that. There's certain things that's like me saying, that's like fans saying I want an Illmatic 2. No, just leave that shit where it's at. Just classic and let it sit
just call it something. Just call it something else altogether because they got music together that's not out. Just call it something else.
Exactly. Yeah, don't tarnish that. That's like how the MCU had to kind of backpedal on having 2 Infinity Gauntlets in the fucking MCU. Like, no, it only should be 1. You know what I mean? So T, man, closing words, man, to say about Doom.
Man, I didn't listen to his catalog earlier, but from what I see, great talent. Rest in peace, man. Kind of I'm not gonna say the beginning, but definitely one of the precursors of blur culture. Another way, not an introduction, but I remember my first Blur con I came to. A couple of cats came in the room blasting that Czarface and MF Doom album. So yeah, man, like I said, I hate, like you said before, I hate to give people their flowers after death. So rest in peace, my dude.
All right, Cash, I know you don't know too much about him, but any last things, any takeaways, about him?
Yeah, I would just piggyback and just say, hey, rest in peace to the legend, the great MF Doom. I am definitely going to jump into all of his music and familiarize myself with all of his music. I'm probably sure I know some samples from, various artists, but I'm definitely going to jump in and listen.
Right.
All right, Rick. Any last things? I'm surprised you ain't got a MF Doom. Did you know?
Actually, I do. But oh,
shit.
Yeah. As far
you see that bomb he just dropped on you? Like, actually,
yeah. As far as Doom was one of those artists that came out when I was a kid, and now he's still relevant today, and where my nieces and nephews and my younger cousins and things like that can appreciate his music. I got to witness him basically reinvent himself. Got to see him grow up, so to speak. And dope artist. Right. I really wish he'd have produced for more people outside his small group of friends or small people that he respected, because his production is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And now as far as my Doom, did you know that Doom is not a U.S. citizen?
Yeah, I do know that. I do
know that. Oh, you know that?
He's not a U.S. citizen.
Okay, for those that don't know, Doom's parents. Yeah, for those that don't know that's listening, Doom's parents came over on a visa from Britain. His parents are actually African, and they migrated to Great Britain, and then they moved to Long Island, New York. But they never took citizenship, and neither did Doom or his brother Subrock before his passing. And actually, he's actually been living in Britain like the last few years or so. Honestly,
he tried to come home and they didn't let him back in.
They wouldn't let him back in, so he's actually been living back in Britain over the last couple of the last few years, actually, like the last 3-4 years. And right. But yeah, that's the Doom. Did you know? So if you didn't know,
yeah.
Yeah, it's Slick Rick and 21 Savage.
Say what?
He's out here Slick Rick and 21 Savage.
Word, yeah. Hey. Don't forget Tory Lanez too.
Oh, Tory Lanez.
Word, yeah, Canada.
But so team. Oh yeah, deportation, man, deportation. But yeah, man, we appreciate you rocking with us, man. We definitely gotta get together again. You with the whole squad, cause y'all got one more member, right? Y'all got a new member.
We finished before now.
Oh, so they growing their team too. So yeah, that's what's up, man. So yeah,
picture,
Word.
What's that?
We try to make
you. What's that? Say it again. Yeah, man. So we appreciate you rocking with us, bro. I know you got to get up out of here and whatnot, but yeah, we appreciate you rocking with us, and we will connect. We this ain't the last meeting villains in the Squadron Supreme. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna link up again.
Man, it's the COVID, man. It took everything away. We knew we was gonna do something for BlurCon, so it happens. But I'm thankful to him for having me on, man.
No doubt, bro. It was good having you, man. Peace.
And I was ready for BlurCon. Word. That was my first time going to. Man.
That's all right. Just the next one that comes back is gonna be big as hell.
Right. Exactly. All right, bro. I know you gotta get ready to bounce and everything. But yeah. Plug your podcast, man. You gotta plug it before you get on out of here, though.
I go, because I got to go to work. I got to go work on these bars, and I ain't talking about bars for real. Got to do slang some liquor. But we are Villains of Vinyl. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and it's just add one word, Villains in Vinyl. You can find us. Appreciate you.
Take it easy, bro.
All right, now.
Peace.
Yeah, I forgot to let all the masses know that you can, listen, share, rate, and subscribe. We're on Pandora, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Stitcher, and more. If you have a question or comment or a suggestion, email us at hiphopmarvels@gmail.com and follow us on all of our social media, Twitter and IG at hiphopmarvels, Facebook, hiphopmarvels, all one word. Subscribe to the new Hip Hop Marvels YouTube channel and Twitch channel. I assure you there's more content to be uploaded. Right now we're a little stagnant, but got a lot in store for you guys.
But yo, check it out though. Why don't some of y'all tell us what you want to see or what you want us to talk about? Holler at us. We'll holler back.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, let us know what you guys want to see, what you want us to talk. Hell, we got a lot of dope guests coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. And when I say a lot, like this is volume 3. We 3 years in, bruh. Like, so we got to go in this year, and we got a lot in store for you guys. And and I'm glad that the squad is back, and they're happy. We all were in a bad place for a minute. It was kind of crazy.
I had to take the rest of 2020 off, man. I had to take the rest of 2020 off.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
2020 was a bit much.
Yeah,
it was. It sure was.
It was literally crazy. It was literally crazy the whole year.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. Shout out, rest in peace, Deron Thompson, aka Diesel D, aka DJ Stab Master Arson of DB4 fame.
Oh yeah, yes. And then also rest in peace to Marion what's her last name?
Ramsey.
Marion Ramsey. In peace. Marion Ramsey from Police Academy fame.
Right. Sergeant Hooks.
Yeah, man. Sergeant Hooks, yes. And other ones we lost within the past year. Like I said, we all, all three of us had lost some family members towards the end of the year, and it just lets you know that like life is short, and I'd rather spend it chasing my dreams and inspiring people. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather spend it like that.
Right.
So so that's just like and that's the wavelength I'm on now. Like in 2021, I'm just totally on that wavelength now. I'm like later for the bullshit, later for the pettiness. I'm all about love. I'm all about empathy.
Word.
All about dreams and all about gold and just everything that's positive, man. Like the hell with the negative shit, because we had a whole year. We had 365 days of that shit last year, and it's just like I'm over it. Like real.
Hey,
I said, when can we get a break?
Oh yeah, definitely. When can we? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, I had mentioned we were going to talk about Capitol shit, and I guess we could just dwell on it for a little bit before we get out of here. But it just seemed like when everything went down at the Capitol, and for those that don't know, President 45, former President 45, I should say, has sent his goons up to the Capitol. Now, the narrative here is that, you could see white privilege at play, like totally. And I'm glad it was displayed for the world to see, because if that was a sea of niggas out there, we all would have been shot up.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
On the lawn. We wouldn't even made it to the steps. Like, let's just...
The way they would climb on the wall, they just sat back there and just picked us off that wall.
I mean, hell, look at what happened during the summer when you had, all of the Black Lives Matter protests and, people protesting, for George, peaceful protests at that, for George Floyd and, Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and the countless, other lives that has been lost at the hands of the police, or racist white folks. When those protests were going down, especially in DC, didn't the president deploy the National Guard on these people? Had people running up in people's houses, hiding, helicopters over their heads, and just it was crazy. And they wasn't nowhere near the Capitol, and nowhere near a threat. Just peaceful protesting. But
bro, that whole thing is a clusterfuck.
Right. It almost seems to me as if the law enforcement and the guards and everything let these people in. You had someone taking selfies with them, dapping them up. There were having conversations.
There were some that were encouraging, come on in. They got this stuff on video.
Yeah, and encouraging these people, and as a result, you got there's one. Now they say 4 people got killed. One lady, she got shot through the window, trying to come through the window, and you know, and I hear some, you know, some white people that, you know, I hear some white people get offended when the narrative is flipped, right? Because you know, a lot of black folks saying these terrorists, these thugs, these hooligans, these hoodlums, these goons, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't sit right with them, but we deal with this shit every day. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
It's funny to see that shit. You know. But yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And this is the state of our country, and it, you know, and it's the start of the year, so it had me thinking like, oh shit, this is the deluxe version of 2020. You know what I'm saying? With like maybe 5-6 more tracks on the album. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe 5 or 6 more joints. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
those be them hidden tracks.
Right, the bonus joints. Remember back on the CD, you had the bonus tracks that wasn't even listed on the track list. You just had to keep. You will wonder why you'll wonder why CD players say 26 tracks and you know the album on the back only says like 23 or whatever. Yeah. Like it's 3 hidden tracks on this one. That's what this is, like 3 hidden tracks. Bonus joint. But you know, it's unfortunate that this shit is going on, and then on top of that, you know, before that, you got the Senate race in Georgia, which is dope. You know, it was a dope win for the Democratic race for the Senate in Georgia, and so now you know the Dems have 50%, you know, seat in the Senate. You know what I'm saying? Which is I think is dope. But I think that, you know, kind of spawned everything. But then you got, you know, Donald Trump putting cryptic messages out on Twitter and shit. And now his Twitter suspended, which they should have been suspended this nigga's Twitter. But he's sending out cryptic messages and getting people riled up. And like you said, Dad, to your point earlier, that's why I think something, you know, or it's best to be prepared for something to go down. Yeah. At the inauguration. Like, you know, because like he realizes his power, and I'm talking about Trump. He realizes like he's trying to divide. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to start another civil war and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Before he gets out of there, because he knows 9 times out of 10, more than likely he's going to jail. He's probably going to tie up the courts for a few years, but Trump is going to jail, and he's trying to avoid that or prolong it as long as he can, as much as possible.
Right. Yeah, he's trying to prolong the shit. And I mean, because like, look at their fucking strategy. They was going to bust in the Capitol and take that little box that they had with all the votes in it. Like, you just going to do it that way. You're not going to tell your people to go out and vote for you, nigga. You just going to run up in there and take all the votes. God damn it.
Bro,
that's some goon.
Bro, I honestly don't think I honestly don't think they even had a plan, man. But nothing but to go up there and raise some hell and fuck some stuff up. That's it, really. Not even, you know what I'm saying, just to make some noise and make a ruckus. I don't think that they had any kind of real plan. But maybe a show of force, like their strength in numbers. But other than that, you know.
Yeah, it was just a plan that, you know, wasn't. I mean, it was executed, but it wasn't executed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They created some chaos. You know what I'm saying? Which is the only thing really that they can do. Create some chaos, some confusion, and you know what I'm saying? That's it.
It took mad pictures, nigga. Like, you got some dude in Nancy Pelosi's office at her desk and shit, taking her down, taking pictures with the shit. And then you got motherfuckers taking the whole podium out the fucking. Like, these fools is acting like, you know what I'm saying? Like savages, yo. You got to do
they were actually like doing that all that. They were pissing all over the place and destroying.
Yeah, I heard they was spearing shit on the walls, and like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, yeah, I felt bad for like the people that like the housekeeping of that place, like I'd have quit. Like y'all don't pay me enough for this. You know what I mean?
Uncivilized.
It's America. These are our privilege. These are the privileged people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, walking out with certain items and shit that belong. They took paperwork and just threw them all. You know, threw the paperwork all over the place and was writing shit on the paperwork. Like it's just crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Insane.
So I mean, it was nothing short of a shit show. But hopefully, you know, like I said, you know, the Senate later got together that night, and you know, they officially announced that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are the president, vice president elect of the United States.
We knew that back in November.
Right. Right, we do that.
That thing.
What's that?
Everything you did didn't change anything.
At all.
At all. Right. So, yeah. So, I mean, that was an unfortunate situation. So, hopefully, we can move on from that. And then the fact that they blowing it up like, oh, this is the most horrible thing that happened in the history of the United States. No, it ain't.
No.
No, it's not.
Y'all forgot about it.
It might have been the most stupidest thing we ever seen or whatever. But it's not the most horrible. We had some horrible shit happen in this shit. But that's, you know, I digress. That's another episode. That's gonna be on episode I don't know what number, but that'll be We Gonna Be Alright Part 2.
Okay.
Right. But man, it was good chopping it up with my team, with my squad.
Word. We had to get going a little. We had to get going a little bit, but you know.
Yeah.
Miss y'all. We a little rusty, you know. We gonna get back in there though. We're a little rusty, but we gonna get back into the street things. Shout out to Claudius. He couldn't be with us today. He's got some, you know, his own personal things going on, and we're with him, and he is with us, and he'll be back soon. Shout out to KinCee,
producer extraordinaire, engineer.
Yes.
He finally hit me back. He finally hit me back the other day too.
That's yeah. So shout out to Ken. Yeah, who else? We forgetting anybody? Shout out to y'all. Shout out to listeners, man. We had like 6,000 downloads now, so that's a give it up a round of applause for that.
Thanks for hanging with us, even though we ain't been putting out content like we're supposed to. We appreciate y'all still hanging with us, and even the new members and the new subscribers, we appreciate y'all as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. And
shout out to all of y'all that hit us up in the DMs like, when y'all coming back? It's been forever.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, shout out to y'all. And yeah, shout out to the day ones, and just, you know, shout out to y'all for rocking with us. You know, just keep on rocking with us because we got a lot. When I say a lot, we're going hard this year. Look, I talked to my squad, y'all. Look, I'm on the spot. Y'all are listening. Talking to y'all, the hip hop Marvelites out there. I'm putting my squad on the spot now. Now, if y'all see some content, after this episode where it's just me for a period of time, y'all can email these niggas. It ain't me. So, yeah, man, I appreciate y'all. I miss y'all. We gonna keep this going. Remember to stay marvelous, and we are out.
Peace.
Dig this and dig it deep.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Yeah, message from the Dome fans. Whoops, who left the whips for the coons' hands? I heard they want equity in the broom brands. Royalties from the cotton fields, 40 acres of moonland. Scram, quick before the portal ends. Mind the coral, especially around your dorsal fins. Could be horrible, You can go from adorable to barely mortgable. I'm just warning you of possible injuries. If you wanna live long as centipedes, you gotta learn how to make lemonade to lemon trees. Going rates $5 a sip. Pro tip, no rips, only smoke when the Pope's picked. Take the whole trip with the old swole swift. Ex-dreadlock, headlock with both pits. Living off borrowed time, the clock tick faster. MCs in the class observe the slick master. Masked up man kept a handle on the craft like a fondue. A fine blend of words that you love like a mom duke. Verbal diversion for the pocket pick. To fund your favorite main chick. Use whip shopping trips. It's carefully constructed, precisely overseen, and then merrily conducted. Was barely interrupted, rarely ever fucked with. Doom, make a Midas out of everything he touches. And that's how the vibe goes. 2 trails of rust running from out of the eye holes. I'm crying like a grown man. I promise to make rappers snatch mics out of their own hands. Exactly how you taught us. We'll take it from here. But look how far you brought us. Doom.
Charles ones for doing 1, 2. Shit, 1, 2. Check it, 1, 2. Police albums when I'm freestyle styling, cause my eyes start to get wide, then it's 3 Mile Island, yeah. I drank my Ovaltine and redeemed my decoder ring. Got 2 songs with you, but only spoke through a go-between. Was still proud as fuck to reach ground zero, cause who the fuck ever gets to rock with their heroes, yeah. Combining the rhyme with divine winos. My phantom verse was rewritten 3 to 5 times though. I got a text, my head spun like a Beyblade. I emailed your homie to see if that shit was kayfabe. Supposed to be space age, everything feeling late stage. We knew what it was since Peach Fuzz in the 8th grade. Sing along, you assholes. Bring it on, commando. Hand wrote just like a letter to the Viet Cong from Rambo. Read it all, I ramble, I know it. And yo, this candle, I'ma hold it over vocal samples. I'm a vandal and a poet. My dance ain't the prettiest, my pen ain't the fanciest. My pancreas is fucked the fuck up like Sid and Nancy's is. I think miscellaneous, and I talk like a know-it-all. I used to buy vodka, was basically isopropanol. I melt rings stolen from a whole host of elf kings. In my bedroom crying like a soul-broken whelpling. The news, and knocked it out me like Ronda Rousey. Fool, you about to sell more masks than Dr. Fauci. I'm copping one off Etsy to rock it proudly. I'm dad bod saved by the belly Kelly Kapowski. I wrote this rhyme on the rock with a sickle too. Got a pic of you spitting on some art in my living room. I memorized your lyrics and seen every interview. I looked into the eyes of the piece. He ain't really you. Super villain. This nigga got me again, goddamn. Rest in peace.
Neither beast or priest, or a monster from a scary fairy tale XXX movie. You don't know me very well, do you? Why? Strong, no aftertaste. Why? Mayonnaise. Chain smoking beaties to the brain broken completely. Hop up on his feet, work out, eat Wheaties. Greedy for cheese, please, most couldn't fathom. Had him in a cobra clutch when he spat the mad him. Gems, collections of plaques, Timbs and hats. Had no time for the pity pat, I give him that. The rhythm hit him back with a right hook. Shook it off, caught a shine, I thought it was alright, look. Depends on the shades, the end of days, phase. Poses on the days on stage. Doom melees, heated up microphone, microwave, mayonnaise. Own way is strange, but it matters not. Tuned into a frequency zone on the shadow rock. Hold it down like Shatner do Spock. Rapper jocks, need to put a sock in your chatterbox. The block got line 5 stock. Folks gather round, it's no joke like knock knock. It's them, came home to roost y'all and transform the game into the rules of football. Any questions? Him can squeeze blood from a penny in a recession. Keep guessing, it get deeper than depression. The power of suggestion, wake asleep and peep the lessons. Dig that beat, ripped it with metal fingers, stomped it with big black feet. And you know what they say, cut the hay. Resistance is futile, get assimilated like the day. Soft gray, metallic with a ruby stone. Dude like the type of dude you could write a movie on. Hardcore, did his own stunts, writ his own rhymes, split his own blunts. Once in a while, every other minute. Eyes wide, Popeye, heavy on the spinach. Steady about his business and ready with an ill pitch. Keep a bad business like Danny Kusanil's niche. No tricks, just shitload of spit and sneeze. G stacking up over rack and hitting thieves. Rappers like the gay club striptease with hippies on the hips saying, hey bum, grip these. He's screaming for attention, beaming at the mention of a scary demon convention. You could cut the tension with a switchblade and serve it on the same tray of hors d'oeuvres a witch made. Persuaded the chambermaid to better paycheck on the get naked game of spades. Straight up, no chaser, no layaways. Strong new aftertaste, a microphone, mayonnaise.
We got it locked from your block to the comic shop.
Roses for the OG MF. Where were you when Bob dropped the OG dead bent? I was over Tony's on some what was that? No, is that? Yes, it's Zev Love X Sound, I'm reckless. I took it to the head and heart. You were back as metal face and threatening my pearl white Acura from the second bar. Barfing up a masterclass in charismatic disrespect and trash talk. Mask on, mac and cheese Timberlands. Sold the first Appleseed CDs at your brownie show while you were saying something of a member like the Alamo. I was yelling every word and never late. And when you finally played, hey, I felt the venue levitate. Ask anyone. L out of upstate. Come to learn a Sony phase 1 of the floodgates. Doomsday gluing true grit to the baseline and made himself a hero and a villain at the same time. Back in 94, you had that line about the Nikes on the wire. I'd always see these Nikes on the wire when I was driving through a neighborhood somebody said you stayed in. Convinced I'd found the actual inspiration. For the record, I was not even close to the right neighborhood. Even when the heart is pure, the brain is mush. Thank you for the stories and a fuck you to the normies. Bruin said we lost our Jordan. I would sprinkle in some Voorhees in a great breeze. I have this memory of me and you rapping meat grinder to each other at a BBQ and BK. Got the same memory with a couple other people too. Trading doom lines, that's what people do. You were always kind of me in person. I tried to play it cool, but I was always kind of nervous. 30 summers of guiding the muddy waters to the men with many names. I hope you're somewhere with your brother, yeah.
Super villaino, Illino, chopping records that my parents listened to. Doom was on a mission to remind you that the magic is what matters. But where'd he find that banner? Where'd he find them patterns? He ain't had no manners. My favorite villain is the drop on Victor Vaughn, but every time I hit a great day intro, I'ma sing along and catch me sleeping on the GMOs. Them lessons on point. We share a brother in Curie from the question mark joint. Super villain in the function and his peoples never fall. Thanks for introducing us to John Robinson and Starr and the era full of rarefied jewels and making use of airtime for making bad headlines cool. Yo, being crazy takes guts. Monster Island's ours had a rep for being nuts. Extra special words and a special herb still lingers. My pantheon is Bird and Mingus, Prince and Metal Fingers. Larger than life, he had his own Nikes. I'm a clear weather brand dude, but dag dome. Food was the anagram. Fresh put me on, I proceed to put on anyone that was fam-a-lamb. And every particle, genuine article. Okay, you stiffed a few promoters who thought they booked a man under the mask, but they could never tell for certain. Walking the walk while talking in third person. He wore a mask so the charge won't grab. On a rooftop with a large stone slab. Seen where the industry was going and had to go nads to go nab. Thanks. A bar is not a measure. A music doomers doing it's a unit of buried treasure. No one ever done it better, so I'ma keep my computer on caps lock forever. Long live